Why Napoleon Hill said, "Never tell your goals to anyone, even family." Stop and think about the last time you had a big dream, a massive goal, something that excited you deeply. What did you do? If you're like most people, you told someone, maybe your spouse, maybe your parents, maybe your best friend. You shared your excitement, your vision, your plan. And what happened? They responded with concern, with skepticism, with reasons why it won't work, with stories of people who tried and failed, with reminders of your past failures, with suggestions to be more realistic. And slowly, without even realizing it, your excitement dimmed. Your certainty weakened. Your commitment wavered. Not because your goal was bad, but because you made one fatal mistake. You told people about it before you achieved it. Napoleon Hill discovered this principle after a devastating experience in his early 30s. He had a brilliant idea for a business venture. He was excited, energized, completely convinced it would succeed. And he made the mistake of sharing it with 5 people he trusted: his wife, his 2 business partners, his mentor, his best friend. All 5 of them killed it. Not with direct opposition, with gentle concern, reasonable questions, logical objections, and within 2 weeks, Hill's burning desire had become doubt. He abandoned the idea. Years later, someone else executed the exact same concept and became wealthy. Hill never forgot that lesson, and he spent the rest of his life teaching a principle that most people refuse to believe. Never tell your goals to anyone, especially family, until after you've achieved them. If you stay with me for the next 15 minutes, I'm going to tell you exactly why sharing your goals destroys them, what happens psychologically when you announce your intentions, and how the most successful people Hill studied protected their dreams from other people's doubt. This might be the most important principle you ever learn, because right now, you're probably leaking power every time you talk about what you're going to do. Before we go deeper, comment right now, "I protect my goals with silence." Because what you're about to learn goes against everything social media and motivational culture teaches. But it's based on Hill's brutal personal experience and decades of research. Hit like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss these uncomfortable truths. And let's discover why Napoleon Hill said, "Never tell your goals to anyone, even family." Here's what happened to Hill. In 1918, he was 35 years old, struggling financially, working various jobs while trying to complete his research on success principles. He'd been working on Andrew Carnegie's assignment for 10 years, but he hadn't published anything yet. He was frustrated, uncertain, questioning whether any of it would matter. Then he had an idea, a way to monetize his research before completing the full book. He would create a correspondence course teaching success principles, charge people to receive monthly lessons, build an income stream while continuing his research. The idea excited him. It felt right. It felt like the breakthrough he needed. So he did what most people do when they're excited. He shared it. First, he told his wife, Florence. She immediately responded with concern. "How much will it cost to create? Who will buy it? What if it fails? You should focus on getting a stable job first." Hill defended the idea, but her questions planted seeds of doubt. Then he told his 2 business partners, men he'd been working with on various ventures. They were even more skeptical. "Who are you to teach success? You haven't succeeded yourself yet. People won't pay for lessons from someone who's struggling. Better to wait until you're more established." Hill felt the energy draining, but pushed forward. He told his mentor, a successful businessman who'd been guiding him. The mentor's response was gentle, but devastating. "Son, I admire your ambition, but I think you're getting ahead of yourself. Finish Carnegie's project first, then think about other ventures. Don't spread yourself too thin." Finally, Hill told his best friend, expecting support. His friend said, "I love you, brother, but I've got to be honest. Every time you get excited about something, you jump in without thinking it through. Remember that publishing venture last year? That real estate deal? Both failed. Maybe you should slow down and think about this more carefully." Within 2 weeks of sharing his idea with 5 trusted people, Hill had completely abandoned it, not because they directly told him to stop, but because their collective doubt, their reasonable concerns, their loving caution had extinguished his burning desire. He convinced himself they were right. He should wait, be more careful, focus on one thing, play it safe. 3 years later, in 1921, Hill learned that someone else had launched a nearly identical correspondence course, and it was wildly successful. The person became wealthy teaching the exact principles Hill had discovered. When Hill saw this, something broke inside him. Not jealousy, realization. He had let other people's doubt kill his dream. And those people, even though they loved him, even though they meant well, had stolen his opportunity. Not intentionally, but the result was the same. From that moment forward, Hill made a vow. He would never again share a goal with anyone before achieving it. And he spent the rest of his life studying why this principle works and teaching it to others. What Hill discovered through his research was profound. When you tell someone your goal, 3 psychological mechanisms activate that destroy your chances of success. Mechanism 1, premature satisfaction. When you announce your intention, your brain experiences a dopamine hit similar to actually achieving the goal. You get the social recognition, the validation, the feeling of being someone who's doing something impressive, all without doing any actual work. This satisfies the psychological need that should be driving you to take action. Hill found that people who talked extensively about their goals were significantly less likely to achieve them than people who kept silent and just worked. Modern psychology has confirmed this. Studies show that when you tell people your goals, you experience what's called a social reality. Your brain perceives that you've already taken a step toward the goal simply by announcing it. This reduces motivation to take actual steps. You've already gotten the reward of recognition without the effort of achievement. Mechanism 2, energy dissipation. Hill discovered that goals carry a specific type of energy he called burning desire. This energy builds when kept internal and focused. But when you talk about your goals, especially repeatedly to multiple people, that energy dissipates. It's like opening a pressure valve. The intensity, the urgency, the obsession that drives achievement, all of it leaks out through talking. Hill observed that successful people channeled their goal energy into action, not conversation. They didn't waste breath describing what they were going to do. They just did it, silently, obsessively, until it was done. Then they announced it. Mechanism 3, external doubt contamination. This is the most destructive mechanism. When you share your goal, you expose it to other people's limiting beliefs, fears, and doubts. And here's what Hill discovered that most people don't understand. Other people's doubts are contagious. Even if you consciously reject their concerns, the doubt enters your subconscious mind. It plants seeds that grow over time. You might defend your goal in the moment, but later, in quiet moments, those doubts resurface. What if they're right? What if I am being unrealistic? What if I do fail like they said? This internal questioning weakens your burning desire and destroys the faith necessary for achievement. Hill wrote in Think and Grow Rich that faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches. But faith cannot coexist with doubt. And other people, no matter how well-intentioned, always inject doubt when you share unproven goals. Now here's where this gets deeper. Hill discovered that family is often the most dangerous to tell. Not because they don't love you, but because they love you. Their love makes them want to protect you from failure, disappointment, and pain. So when you share a big goal, their protective instinct activates. They see all the ways you could fail, all the obstacles you'll face, all the reasons to be cautious. And they share those concerns because they're trying to save you from hurt. But in doing so, they kill your dream. Hill observed that many successful people had to actively hide their ambitions from family members who would have talked them out of it. Henry Ford's family thought he was wasting his time with automobiles. Thomas Edison's mother was one of the few who supported his experiments. Everyone else thought he was crazy. Andrew Carnegie's relatives warned him against his risky business ventures. The pattern was clear. People who achieved extraordinary things often did so despite their family's concerns, not because of their family's support. And the ones who succeeded learned early to stop seeking approval or sharing plans with people who couldn't see the vision. So what should you do instead? Hill gave specific instructions. Instruction 1. Keep your goals completely silent except in 3 circumstances. First, when you need specific expertise or resources from someone and must explain your goal to get their help. Second, when you're legally or ethically required to disclose your intentions. Third, after you've achieved the goal and are announcing results, not intentions. In all other situations, silence. Work in quiet, build in private, achieve in secret, then reveal. Instruction 2. Create a written statement of your definite major purpose. This is for your eyes only. Write exactly what you intend to achieve, by when, and why. Read this statement twice daily, morning and night, with emotion and conviction. This keeps the goal alive in your mind without leaking energy through conversation. The written statement serves the same psychological function as telling others. It makes the goal feel real, but without the destructive mechanisms of external doubt and premature satisfaction. Instruction 3. Channel all goal energy into action, not conversation. Every time you feel the urge to talk about what you're going to do, convert that energy into doing it instead. Make a phone call, write a page, take a step, move forward. Use the energy for progress, not performance. Hill found that this single shift, converting talk energy into work energy, dramatically increased achievement rates. Instruction 4. Develop what Hill called a mastermind alliance. This is different from casually sharing goals. A mastermind is 2 or more people who are also pursuing significant goals and who meet regularly to support each other's progress, not dreams but actual progress. In a true mastermind, you don't share goals for validation. You share specific obstacles and ask for specific solutions. The focus is on problem solving, not cheerleading. And critically, everyone in the mastermind is actively building something, so they understand the journey and don't project limiting beliefs. Instruction 5. Become comfortable with being misunderstood. When you stop talking about your goals, people will notice. They'll ask what you're up to. They'll wonder why you're being secretive. Let them wonder. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your ambitions. Hill taught that the ability to withstand being misunderstood is a mark of mental strength. Weak people need constant validation and explanation. Strong people can work in silence while others speculate. Now let me tell you what Hill discovered about what happens when you actually follow this principle. He tested it himself after his devastating experience in 1918. For the next 7 years, from 1918 to 1925, Hill told absolutely no one about his progress on Think and Grow Rich. Not his wife, not his friends, not his colleagues. He worked in complete silence. And during those 7 years, he made more progress than in the previous 10 years combined. Why? Because all his energy went into work instead of explanation. All his mental space was focused on the project instead of defending it. All his burning desire stayed internal, building pressure, driving action. By 1925, he had enough material to begin writing, and even then he didn't announce it. He just wrote, silently, obsessively, until the manuscript was complete in 1928. Only then did he share it, with publishers, not friends or family. The book was published in 1937, and Hill never forgot the lesson. The 7 years of silence produced more than the 10 years of talking ever could. The Stoics understood this principle deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journal, "Not for publication, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." He didn't announce his intentions to be virtuous. He just practiced virtue privately and let his actions speak. Epictetus taught his students, if you wish to be a writer, write. Don't talk about writing. Don't announce you're going to write. Just write. The work proves everything. Words prove nothing. Seneca wrote, everywhere means nowhere. When a person spends all his time in foreign travel, he ends by having many acquaintances, but no friends. And so it is with those who seek intimate acquaintance with no single author, but visit them all in a hasty and hurried manner. The same applies to goals. When you scatter your goal energy across multiple conversations with multiple people, it goes nowhere. But when you concentrate all that energy into focused, silent action, it becomes powerful. Here's what you need to do starting today. First, identify every goal you've been talking about, every plan you've shared, every intention you've announced. Now stop talking about them completely. If people ask about your progress, give vague, brief answers. I'm working on it, making progress, nothing specific yet. Then redirect the conversation. Don't be rude, just be private. Second, write down your definite major purpose if you haven't already. Be specific, include exactly what you want, by when, and why it matters. Read this statement morning and night. Let this private ritual replace public announcement. Third, every time you feel the urge to share your goal, convert that energy into immediate action. The urge to talk is energy-seeking release. Release it through work instead of words. Make a call, send an email, write a paragraph, take a step, any step. Just move forward instead of talking forward. Fourth, evaluate who's in your circle. Are these people actively building their own dreams? Or are they comfortable, playing it safe, skeptical of ambition? If they're the latter, minimize sharing anything significant with them. Not because they're bad people, but because they cannot support what they don't understand. Their doubt will contaminate your faith even if you don't realize it. Fifth, get comfortable with the loneliness of silent ambition. It is lonely. People will think you're being secretive or arrogant. Let them think whatever they want. Your goal is not to be understood. Your goal is to achieve. And achievement requires protecting your burning desire from other people's doubt, concern, and well-intentioned limitations. Hill spent 40 years after his 1918 mistake teaching this principle, and he noticed a clear pattern. People who followed it achieved their goals at dramatically higher rates than people who announced their intentions. It wasn't even close. The silent builders succeeded. The loud announcers failed. Not always, but usually. Why? Because silence protects the three essential elements of achievement: burning desire, unwavering faith, persistent action. And talking, no matter how well-intentioned, destroys all three. So here's my final question for you. What goal are you currently leaking energy on by talking about it? What dream are you exposing to other people's doubt? What ambition are you announcing instead of achieving? Identify it right now, then make a decision. Stop talking, start working. Protect your goal with silence. Let your results do the talking later. Hill proved this principle works, not through theory, through painful experience and decades of observation. He told 5 people about his idea. All 5 killed it with doubt. He learned to never make that mistake again. Don't make it either. Comment, I protect my goals with silence. Like this video so others learn to stop announcing and start achieving. Subscribe to the channel because we're teaching the principles that actually work even when they're uncomfortable. And share this with someone who needs to stop talking about their dreams and start building them quietly. Napoleon Hill said, never tell your goals to anyone, even family. Not because you should be secretive, but because other people's doubt kills your burning desire. And burning desire is the only force powerful enough to overcome obstacles. Protect it, guard it, feed it with silent action. And when you finally achieve what others didn't even know you were attempting, then you can tell the story. Let your success speak. Until then, let silence work. Let's go.